Hi, welcome to Derek Does. Today, we're going to do these. Hi, welcome back to another Derek Does. I'm Derek, and thanks for joining me. If you're new here, please subscribe, like, comment, all that stuff. Check out my past catalog of videos of cool vintage stuff. But today, we're going to be doing something I picked up. I've had a couple of these over the years, but this is the Corcoran Jump Boot. These are the classic jump boot. I would even say the classic, the gold standard, if you will, of army boots. These were only used for a few years, really. They came out in 1941. They were designed by the same guy that designed the paratrooper jumper, which I have a video of that. And he also designed these boots specifically for paratroopers for World War II. These came out, I think, officially in 1942, and then were kind of replaced by the M43 boot, which I also have a video if you want to check that out, of the M43 boot in, I guess, 43, 44. Now, you're wondering, like, well, if these were only used for that certain amount of time, why do I always see guys wearing these in paratroopers? Because what I've seen and read is that paratroopers, even though these weren't issued, they could purchase them, and they did. And they would private purchase them, and anytime you saw these guys wearing these things, they would private purchase them, and they would wear them, and they probably wore them up until about the 90s, mid-90s or something like that, when the more modern boot came out. But this is the classic. These are in black. These are a newer pair, and unfortunately these are too small for me. These are a size 8, I think. They're 8D is the size, and of course they came in D's and C's and E's and EE's, different sizes and everything. But I'll go over kind of what the boots are, what makes them special from other boots, combat boots. But these were the boots that, the design of the boots that the paratroopers wore when they jumped into Normandy and all that stuff for World War II. And they wore them in Sicily. They wore them everywhere in Europe when they were paratrooping out of airplanes. But let's take a look at these. I won't wear them for you to show you how they look because I cannot fit into these. They are size 8s and I'm an 11. But this is the classic. These are the black pair. The ones in World War II would have been brown. They were originally brown. Now I've had a pair of combat boots from early 50s, and they were brown, and they were almost identical, except they were missing a few of the items, the featured items that these boots were made for, because again, these were specially made for paratroopers jumping out of airplanes. But I'll put them on the stool so you can get some close-ups of them, and we can go over kind of the features of them, and some of the things I've heard about, pros and negatives of these boots, and see if they're a right boot for you. Now, of course, you can find these boots. They're pretty easy to find, really. If you hit the thrift stores often or estate sales, you will find these boots in different degrees of wear. This pair is actually in pretty nice shape. They were not worn that much. I mean, they do still have creases. You can see where, you know, his ankle had done it, but these take forever to break in. I mean, forever. But once they break in, they're like, I guess, really fantastic. I've never had a pair that actually broke in really great. But let's take a look at these, and we'll talk about the paratrooper boot from Corcoran. All right, so here they are, and you can see the close-ups. Now, you see it's the classic combat boot style. You know, it's the tall boots, like a 10-inch. It has a toe cap. They're not steel-toed. I believe they've actually made a steel-toed version of this, but the originals were never steel-toed. It just had a leather cap toe. And it was just regular eyelets all the way up, no speed lacing or anything along that. And if you notice on the bottom there, they actually have a, instead of a straight edge here, like a normal boot would come straight, these were actually curved a little bit, so it's in and out of the plane easier. No real crazy traction on these. They have a little bit of tread there. You can see their brass tacked in there and then double stitched for the insole and outsole, and then it has a just a rubber heel. Now the originals would say probably U.S., that sort of thing. These don't, because these are later issues. The big thing these have, besides this angled here, is they actually have webbing sewn inside along here on the ankles, and that's to give extra support when you land hard. Also, when you land with a little bit of a curve or a little angle there, you're not going to catch anything as you're coming down. You know, if you come down like this and you hit a rock, it could catch you and flip and maybe break your foot. But this is angled to help alleviate that, and then this is also to give extra support for your ankles. Now, the actual boot themselves are a little wider than a normal combat boot, and that's so when you hit the ground, your foot will expand, and it has room to expand in the boot. Now, these are black. The new ones are all black, and these are, you know, spit shine. They're parade ready, or could be, as you can see. Kind of straight up. They're pretty common, just everyday boot. I wouldn't go crazy on working with these. They're not a work boot, or there's better boots out there if you wanted a work boot, but if you just want to around the town, doing stuff outside here and there, these would be perfect for that. If it were me, I'd go with the brown ones, just because I like the nostalgia. But here it is. These are the Corcoran. Let's take a look on the inside, and I'll show you what that looks like. So when you find a modern pair, they're going to go out of their way to, you know, this is extra. This is Corcoran full force footwear, made in the USA. And then this is the tag, if I can. There we go. We'll zoom in. This is actually the 1500 model range. So if you ever find these, and they are made in the USA, but from components sourced from worldwide. So they're not really made in the USA. They're finished in the USA, but I wouldn't say that they're made in the USA. But you can see these is a really nice pair. Even like that down there hasn't been worn away. It's leather on the inside. There's no lining. There's no anything like that. But these are the Corcoran 1500 jump boot. And of course, these would be very, very similar to what they made in World War II, only that would have been made completely in the USA and probably better leather and better materials and that sort of thing. But definitely worth looking into if this is a style you like. I'd say get them. They're not super expensive. You can find a used pair for $100 easy. New pairs are going to be closer to $2 probably. I remember when the whole Private Ryan came out, and they were reproducing the brown ones like this. I think they were like $150, but that was like, what, 90, whenever Private Ryan came out. A lot of guys I know were picking those up, and they were cool. I just couldn't afford them back then. And today, I don't know if I would be worth picking up, because I don't think I'd wear them that much compared to all the other stuff I have, but they're cool boots. So there you have it. This is the Corcoran Paratrooper Jump Boot. I guess if you're going to buy these today, it's the 1500 model. I'm sure they make different models. I know they still make them in brown. You can pick those up if you want. But basically, originally they were brown, and then in the 50s they all turned black. All combat boots did. Just, I don't know why, the reasoning maybe, I don't know why, but they did. This pair isn't great. If you're actually interested in this pair, I do have it on eBay right now. So if you're an 8D, and you're looking for a pair of these, check out, I'll put a link in the description, and you can actually buy this pair of boots. They won't fit me, so my loss, your gain. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Again, if you're new, subscribe. If you've been here for a while, thanks for watching. I really appreciate all the subscribers. If you have any questions, now these are kind of like M65 field jackets. Like, pretty much everyone has a story. If you're into this stuff, you have a story about them somewhere along your history. And I know a lot of guys write about the M65, and a lot of guys probably will write about this pair of boots too. So it's a cool pair of boots, and I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you on the next Derek Does. Thanks for watching.